Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with my Amulet Dino deck. Here we have Urza Saga to get an Amulet, the One Ring, and Explorer. We'll keep it. Caverns could be good, depending on what we're up against. We're missing a lot of pieces, but hopefully we can find them with what we have in our hand. What are we up against? Burn? Or just... we've taken our beats here, it looks like. We did get the green source with Passeju, so that's pretty good. We could do... I mean, we're going to just run out the Urza Saga. That's what we're here to do. Get the Amulet out as fast as possible. We don't have any... We're keeping this hand on the back of Explore, or Urza Saga, Explore, and the One Ring. Because this will get us our Amulet on turn 3. This will help us draw into something, hopefully, and this can give us protection and draw us things. So that's our plan right now. See what our opponent steals. Selesnya Sanctuary. This was an Amulet of Vigor. Opponent off to a great start. That's where we really want our Arboreal Grazer is up against Ragavan Nimble Pilferers. Okay, so 4 color. Domain, it looks like. Alright, well, we haven't played Domain yet. It's probably going to be pretty rough beats for us, I would say. What we're going to do is... Thankfully, we have the green source. So we're going to play the Passeju. We could just try to shrink some of this stuff, but either way, we're going to play the Passeju. Play Explorer. That was not really what we needed to draw there. Play Selesnya Sanctuary. Get this back to our hand. So yeah, holding on to the bounce land would let us abuse the Amulet of Vigor that we're going to get next turn, but we are already under a lot of pressure, and we really need this One Ring to keep by us a turn at least. So what we'll probably do is float the mana. We could make a construct just for blocking purposes, but then we wouldn't get the One Ring down. So we're on a very fast clock. 5 color Domain. They're gonna have answers, and oh, they got a Kalta and Maverin. Oh, at least we drew one. Yeah, I think we're going to be on the draw against a deck like this. Too slow, but one reason why we have Storm's Wrath in our deck is to help in these matchups. This is going to put our deck to the test, and we definitely did not have that kind of fast start we could to keep up with what our opponent's doing. The One Ring will buy us a turn. If we hit what we need off the One Ring, it's possible we can get a Galta and Maverin out and stop the bleeding. Although they play, and there's a... Okay, well... They do play Leyline Binding. There we go. I can remember. They probably play Counter Magic too. Maybe we run out this Urza Saga. We really need our lands to stick around though. See, they have an answer. If they have an answer, we're in trouble. Leyline Binding is an answer. It does still buy us a turn. It just draws us a single card though. Okay, they're going to cycle. Looking for an answer. So let's see. We are going to get we have the Amulet of Vigor. We really need a bounce land. So that next turn we can go bounce land. Alright. Is that going to be enough? We can't play 2 lands is the problem. So if we draw, we're going to get 3 cards hopefully next turn if they don't get rid of the 1 ring. If we do get a bounce land, we only get 2 mana out of it, which gives us 5 mana, which doesn't get us anywhere. Play that for a turn. We need a way to make an extra land drop. Probably a Boreal Grazer would be our best draw. Okay, yeah. We're going to die next turn. Yeah, just too slow here without any sort of mid-range pieces. There's the Hammer Skull. That will keep us alive. Let's go ahead and draw. Bunch of useless lands. So Hammer Skull lets us at least, I mean they have answers for days, but it does give us a chance to block and maybe at some point get down a Kalta. So I think what we're going to do is play this Mycosynth Gardens to set us up for next turn, if there is a next turn. I have a feeling there will not be, but we're taking 6 if we're able to block. I'm sure they have some reach with bolts or that tribal burn spell. So I would put our chances of surviving through this next turn maybe less than 10%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll discard. Doesn't look like they're playing any counter magic. We need the bounce spells probably. Okay. Will we live? So this next turn, if we get a next turn, our plan will be to make a copy of the Amulet of Vigor, play a bounce land, get a Galt out. Yeah, I think they're going to burn us out here. Is this a 5-3? Okay. We're sort of in the position where we don't have a way to block flyers. Lightning bolt, and then what? Another lightning bolt, and then we just died of our own 1-ring triggers. Fair enough. Sure. Let's see what we draw. Would we have gotten? There's that. I mean, we were going to get the pieces we needed, to be honest, to stabilize or to put a bunch of power on the board, but we are dead. All right. Well, let's check out our sideboard. Bring in the Storm's Wrath against this deck. Take out the Explorers. Anything else? I mean, Pulsum Rasa it is what it is. Gain a Spit of Life, get a creature back. I'm not sure it's where we want to be at against the domain strategy that is looking to go super big, super fast. We don't have any ways to interact with their land other than the single Beseju. Again, that's a $50 card. I've been watching the price for more than a year at least. Does not get very cheap. I don't think I've ever seen it below 40. Once I started looking at it, it's taught me the lesson of any time these dual lands or special lands get printed, unless they're like obvious, like a creature land that's just there's a better version of it already in Modern. Just buy them all online before they jump up in price, even if it's $3, because it's going to end up saving you money in the long run. Okay, so we're going to really be leaning heavily on either a fast start or Storm's Wrath, timely Storm's Wrath. Kind of want both, to be honest. Why can't we have both? Surely we can have both a Fast Start and a Storm's Wrath. Thank you, deck. You listened to my request. We need just a bounce land. Okay, well, we're off to the races. A bounce land here. If we don't draw a bounce land, we will make a copy of the Amulet of Vigor. Hopefully we'll just get the bounce land. Treat us right, deck. Pugnacious Hammerskull. So if this enters the battlefield, I don't think we ever get 2 mana out of it, right? It's like, I feel like, alright, well, so next turn, we really want to be able to get this Wayward Sword. We really just needed a bounce land. Bounce land in our hand is fantastic. Without a bounce land, we're struggling. We went down to single land, so we have 28 lands now in our deck. If we don't hit lands, this will be one of the first times I don't make my land drops with this deck. Alright, sure. Question is, do we get rid of our... I've beaten an Amulet Titan player who made their Mycosynth Gardens into an Amulet of Vigor and just never hit another land. So unfortunately, since we don't really have anything to really do with 2 Amulet of Vigors, other than maybe play 2 Wayward Sword Tooths, we're just going to keep it like that. We can't risk it. We just can't. So our most optimal play would be this Pugnacious Hammerskull. I'm still trying to live the Belligerent Yearling dream, though. Still trying to live it. Have a feeling that this is going to die to a lightning bolt before we get to live that dream. However, we have the Storm's Wrath in hand. We surely will draw a land next. And if it doesn't die to a lightning bolt and our opponent just commits more to the board, we're going to play a Pugnacious Hammerskull, swing in for 6. Okay, there's the bolt. Alright, so hopefully our opponent will now start committing multiple things to the board and we'll hit the land on time to Storm's Wrath it all away. The beauty about most of our dinosaurs, other than Belligerent Yearling, is they don't die to Storm's Wrath. So we could just keep committing to the board as our opponent does if they don't have answers until we are ready to blow up their side of the board. So, come on, 28 land deck. Now, give me a land off the top, preferably a bounce land. A bounce land would be the best. Opponent's got the slow reactive hand, it looks like. Another one, alright. There's the bounce land. Sweet. So we'll at some point return this. Oh, that won't work. We really wanted a red. So Wayward Swordtooth. This might not be the right play because we're not going to be able to block with it and we're not going to be able to get out anything else. I forgot what you didn't. These weren't one of our double lands. Leyline Binding. Okay, going after the Amulet of Vigor. That seems like a good play. So our opponent might be able to disrupt us while putting enough pressure on us that it's going to be painful. Pugnacious Hammerskull might have been the better play in hindsight since I did my math incorrectly. Because we were only going to get 2 mana anyway. We weren't going to be able to do anything else with that 2 mana. Pugnacious Hammerskull would at least done some blocking duty. Next turn we're looking to... I mean, we really need a red source at this point. it's already a 5/5 though, so that wouldn't even kill the 5/5. So we really want a red source. We're desperate for the Storm's Wrath, and with Domain, I mean, they have so many cheap, powerful creatures that even with one Wrath, we may just be dead to their second wave. Or the One Ring would be acceptable. Boseiju, that is a way to get back that Amulet of Vigor. So if we play the Mycosynth Gardens, play the Pugnacious Hammer Skull, they can block. Now we're still taking 6 though. Now what we're gonna do, what should we do? I mean, we can respond and they know what we're doing. They're gonna see what they get. Yeah, I think there's too much pressure too fast. We have the Storm's Wrath. So they went and got another Triome. Mountain and a forest. They're gonna have, this is a mountain. That's a forest. Number among lands you control. So they have double mountain. They don't have double swamp. They do have double swamp. They have double forest. They have double plains. They do not have double island. They do have double island. I think they have double everything. And then whatever we... So I think we might still be on the plan of Boseiju, this Leyline Binding. Hope to hit a red source of some kind. Oh, not another one. Just trying to think if there's any way we can blow up a land in a way that will shrink these guys down to 4. Will they attack? Or will they wait until they can do one swing for death? So we really need the red source, and we need it now. Come on, deck, one time. Let us get that red source. We really need the One Ring or our red source. That's what we're hoping for. And they're probably going to watch them get a plains, and then their last card be Leyline Binding. Still want a red source, but we need it untapped, so the Amulet of Vigor is important on that front. Without a red source, we're dead. With a red source, we have a chance. Wait, does it come in? It says come put it on the battlefield. So I guess they do not have... Come on, red source, one time. One time, deck. Red source. Guess the Wolf Run is not a red source. This, however, taps for 1 mana of any color. Thank God I just remembered that. So what can we do? Play the Wolf Run. Tap for a red. Red. Wipe their board, minus the Territory Cavu. We cannot, however, attack, as we do not have the City's Blessing, and we will die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're close. Did our opponent draw an answer and to kill us? We would love to hit like an Arboreal Grazer. All right, a 5/3. Yep. So we're dead next turn. They got their. Forgot they were playing a companion. All right. So what we really need is something anything that we can cast this turn in order to turn on. Okay. Well, this might work. Let me think. So if we turn this into a copy of the Amulet of Vigor, we get to play the Gruul Turf. We'll get 4 mana out of it. Play the Gruul Turf, get 8 mana total. Hit for. Then we have to play this to be able to attack. Play the Gruul Turf and get 12 mana. But we'll have 9 mana, so we can put 9 into this. Okay, I think we might have a chance here. We may have a chance. Okay. Let's do it. Return a land to our hand. So we want to return the Gruul Turf. Play the Gruul Turf. Now, we can't attack, so we're going to have... We have 8 mana. We're going to have to return a land that we can play that doesn't bounce to our hand. But we have the City's Blessing now, so it doesn't matter. So we can just return this to our hand. Since we gained the City's Blessing, it doesn't matter. We can do it again. Is this going to be enough, though? All right. Math is for blockers, right? Pretty sure this is enough. 16, 6, and a 5/5. That's 21 damage. They can block 8 of it. They may not be dead, but they're going to have to double block. Because they're dead to this, so they have to block that. Yep. Yep. So they don't die. They go to 4. Or 3, it looks like. But 3 is not dead. And we're at 5. Alright, what a turn. I mean, even if we end up losing, which we may very well lose at this point. What a turn. What a fun turn that was. I think I took the best line. We got lucky with the Storm's Wrath. We got the 2 amulets. We have... Yeah, I mean, we're putting a ton of pressure on our opponent. Now we're being the big... they're going to play Jin Gotha. But I don't think it matters. Unless they have something in... Unless that last land is a way to kill us. Gruul Turf number 2. Alright. So same verse. Second verse, same as the first. I need to figure out if there's a way to like click remember all and then so I don't have to keep clicking there. Alright, they scoop it up. Going to game 3. Alright, so that is how what I said. We wanted a fast start. Our fast start wasn't super fast, but we did have the Storm's Wrath, and it was a timely Storm's Wrath follow. But we had hit our 3 drops to block on time, so it actually worked out in its own way, the way I had hoped it would. Furthermore, you're getting to see some of the other synergies of the deck that we haven't seen yet. So running back, opponents on the play, so they're definitely favored with their aggressive strategy. But we see some of those synergies where we're able to get Wayward Swordtooth for multiple land drops, obviously, but Pugnacious Hammerskull to both pump and also as a good blocker against Domain. And the other one of Kessig Wolfrun coming through for the victory, forcing our opponent to block, keeping us alive, pressuring their life total. Let's see if we can run it back. Well, this is an interesting hand where we have a single land. A lot of our pieces, though. I think we're gonna. Oh, it pains me so much. This is a Ragavan blocker. The One Ring is good. I just don't think this is keepable, though. We have so many lands to play, though. All we need is a single bounce land, and we're off to the races. Do we keep it? It's just too risky. That is a lot of lands. We saw the power of Kessig Wolfrun. I think we might just have to put... Man, I don't want to put a bounce land. Okay, what do we... We don't need white. We're just going to have to put that down to the bottom. Alright, so this is definitely not a great hand, and I imagine that we're already doomed to die, but... I mean, it's not a one-lander. Here, if we can draw action, we'll be good. We have the Amulet of Vigor, which is our most important turn 1 combo piece. It will allow us, if we hit a 3-drop, to start chaining together some good spells. We just need to draw well, and that land off the top is not drawing well. Now, Leyline Binding would obviously wreck our plan since we have 5 lands in hand. We really needed that to be a Wayward Swordtooth or Pugnacious Hammerskull or an Explorer or anything that we could cast. So we have one more draw, though. One more draw to find it, assuming that they don't blow up our Amulet of Vigor. And even if they do, if it's an Explorer, if it's not, if it's a 3-drop, it slows us down, but it also slows them down to have to cast that. Totally worth it, of course, to blow up this Amulet of Vigor before we can go off with it. They may wait a turn thinking that we can't do too much damage on our turn 2, which is true. There it goes. Prismatic Ending, even better for them. No 1-drop, though, better, good for us. There is the Hammerskull. At least we drew it. That's all I can say. At least we drew it. We do have the Spacegu to help reduce their domain count. Hammerskull is our best blocker against what they're doing. So we were going to have a turn 2 Pugnacious Hammerskull after all. No, it's a turn 3. However, our opponent also has 0 action. So if we can just chain together a few of our 3-drop creatures long enough into a big fatty, we might be able to stabilize and get there. We also have the mana already for Storm's Wrath if we draw it, and if they commit a lot to the board. No matter what, if I had to predict it, I would say we're going to lose this game. It's been fun. It's been a good match. We got to at least get a match at win in. We know we can beat Domain now. Domain has beaten a lot of my mid-range decks. It's just so powerful, so low to the ground, yet huge creatures that it's really hard to beat. And okay, there's the Grazer, so that is a good draw for us. Can we, without the Amulet though, is it going to get us there? Can we do both things? We can play a Grazer, and then we can play a Kessig Wolfrun. play this Hammer Skull, I guess. It's not the best ramp, but it is ramp. It still counts as ramp, or do we want to save the Grazer for a turn where we can go off? This is Leyline Binding mana represented, by the way, so I'm not convinced this Pugnacious Hammer Skull is going to survive. So 4 mana, I guess we don't have anything else going on, so we're going to run this out there. Who knew a Boreal Grazer could be so good? Oh, it comes in tapped. I forgot. Read the card, man. First rule of Magic. Read the card. Alright, well, new plan. We should have done the bounce land, obviously. That was a boneheaded play. So I haven't been making too many mistakes in my last few matches. I finally got in the game, into the battlefield tapped. Yep. I finally feel like I'm getting a handle on this deck. But that was definitely a punt, because we should have at least ramped ourselves with a bounce land so that we'd have 5 mana next turn. However, instead of blocking, well, you can still block, but we're going to see what they draw, I guess. That's their Swamp Forest Island. We'll Beseju that. Still not going to shrink it. It might shrink this to a 4/4, but I kind of want to hold on to this Boreal Grazer to block Ragavan. They may have taken Ragavan out. I don't know why. Maybe just for some extra removal. Looks like they pitched a forest, so that might, if they don't play a lot of basics, trip them up a little bit. Could take them off of green. Could take them off of green and a swamp, and that would be sweet. Nope. Of course, they don't need to get a basic. They can get a. It's not a basic. They have to search up. So, okay. Well, we'll block with their Boreal Grazer. Try to keep our life total as high as possible. For now. Try to overcome our mistake of playing the Selesnya, not playing the Selesnya Sanctuary last turn. See if we get punished. The way we'd get punished would be hitting like an Explorer or something that would allow us to do 2 things at once. And just it's slowing us down in general. Man, so many bounce lands. So many bounce lands. Well, Pugnacious Hammer Skull, will you survive? Or will you get bound by the ley line? Looks like bound by the ley line it is. And we are in trouble. Alright, well, what our best out right now is a Storm's Wrath, and even then we're on a 2-turn clock from the Kavu, so we're going to need like a Storm's Wrath plus something. And our opponent's probably not, if I was them, I wouldn't commit any more to the board. I would have swing in for 10, wait to see what I do. Because I'm dead next turn, and there's a good chance we just draw a land. So this game hasn't been too much fun. We haven't really got anything going. We had them all to 6 from a 1-lander that was too risky, and we kept a 5-lander. So 29 lands. Every other card is going to be a land probably. I mean, on average, obviously. And we have not drawn. We drew the Pugnacious Hammer Skull, and it was basically right on time. But they had an answer for our Amulet of Vigor, and then since then it's been Grazer land. So what do we do to draw? Carnage Tyrant? Maybe that would be our best draw, honestly. No, and then we are still dead. Even a Carnage Tyrant doesn't get us out. Yeah. And we drew nothing but land. Alright, well, sometimes that happens. Maybe the mistake was the mulligan when I had a 1-lander. Where I should have just trusted the Magic Gods that I would have drawn lands on time. Maybe you keep that all day with a deck like this, because you know your odds are that you will draw lands no matter what. So that might be where I lost this game in this match, but you live and you learn. That's why we're doing the practice reps. Overall, this was fun. Fun match. This is Johnny Cycles for CyclesGaming.com. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my website, CyclesGaming.com, for original Magic the Gathering content. You can read about my Commander decks or my Janky Modern brews. My latest article is about the Zombie Precon and its effect on Commander. I give you a couple different deck lists. If you're interested in a science fiction / fantasy novel, be sure to check out my book, The Podcon. I'm publishing it serially, a couple chapters every month. Again, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.